And welcome back. February is American Heart Month, and heart disease is very common and is the leading cause of death for men and women of all ethnic and racial backgrounds. The American Heart Association says nearly half of all Americans have high blood pressure. Our next guest is here to provide us with suggestions on how to take care of your heart. We're pleased to have sharing with us, giving us more information, the care coordinator at Health Plans from VNS Health, Constance Washington. And Constance, I gave that statistic. It was kind of unnerving when you think about most Americans are dealing with some form of heart disease, high blood pressure. And so I guess it is very important that we get this word out.
Absolutely, it is extremely important, and it is unfortunate, that heart disease is so very common, and it is the leading cause of death for men and women of all ethnic and racial backgrounds. So something we all must be quite vigilant about.
Yeah. When we talk about heart disease, obviously sometimes people are not familiar with it until they're diagnosed with it, or you hear about it within your family background. What is some of the causes of heart disease?
There's many causes of heart disease. Definitely high blood cholesterol levels. If you are a smoker, um, if if it runs in your family. These are some of the reasons.
And when you talk about these reasons, obviously, high blood pressure, cholesterol, family history, these are some of the things that are quite prevalent that we see in a lot of people's charts. But when it comes to heart disease itself, many people also have the false thought that it's that's the end. It doesn't get any better than this.
Mhm.
We know that it does get better. So, what are some of the things that we could do? Because we know it's not the be all, the end all, right? We know we've been diagnosed with it, but there's still some things that we can do to create a more healthier heart.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's quite a bit of things that we can do. Um, you know, Dieting is one of the things that we can do. Talk with our doctors, about healthy heart diet, meaning your salt intake. Finding out from your provider how much salt that you're able to take in, if any at all. Being vigilant when you do your shopping, and reading labels on products, to see exactly what is the salt content, if it's healthy for you, trying to stay away from more of the processed foods like the canned goods or the processed meals in boxes, or the soups. That you'll find, that you just add water to. A lot of times, it's better to eat more fresh products. Go, to the fresh areas, or the like the fresh fruits and the fresh vegetables, or even the frozen section, fresh frozen vegetables over the canned products. It's much better.
We talk about eating better. That's one of the things that we can honestly do. Exercise, diet. We know we've heard that. We've heard that before. Those are ways that people can be able to really help sustain their heart. But if I'm a family member and I find that my loved one is in a place where they're not eating well, and I think that there's a possibility that they may have heart disease. What are some of the more prevalent symptoms that a person has that can say, hey, you need to go see a doctor?
Right, right. Great question. Some of the symptoms that you might find is, you know, they may be complaining of feeling dizzy or lightheaded. A lot of times, when they're changing their positions, like when they're getting up to stand up, they might feel a little, as they say, woozy or lightheaded. Finding that they get short of breath when they're doing some general things like, just walking from one room to another in their home. Also feeling like they're having palpitations, like their heart is like pounding really hard, almost feeling like it's going to jump out of their chest. And of course, chest pain is another of the symptoms, that you want to look for. And know when that happens, you have to immediately get on the call with the doctor or start considering the emergency room, depending on how the patient is feeling.
Can you give me ideas of what you're seeing come across your path when it comes to heart disease? Are you finding that more and more people are just being newly diagnosed, or are we finding that people are getting better in this area?
Well, unfortunately, I would love to say that it's getting better, but um, not so much. And a lot of times, a lot of people they're not even aware, that they have high blood pressure. So I would definitely, urge, family members, to get to the doctor, and have their blood pressure checked and make sure they're going for their routine screenings. Don't just go to the doctor when you're not feeling well. You know, go, as I said, on a routine basis, so they may pick these things up much earlier, and start putting interventions in earlier, where I find that people do respond better and quicker when things are addressed sooner than later.
For yourself, I mean, I know that you do a good job of coordinating care plans. That's a part of what you do. When somebody's in a situation with heart health, how do you go about coordinating a care plan for them?
Well, again, very, very good question. So, we talk a lot about some of the things that you had mentioned earlier. We talk a lot about dieting. I'm always going back to, making sure, again, a heart healthy diet, staying away from the salt, picking better foods, even with this foods that have a lot of cholesterol. No deep frying your foods. Make sure you're eating lean proteins over the more fatty ones. Taking off that skin from that chicken because it's really, really high in fat. Again, no deep frying foods, baking, broiling your foods is best. We talk about activity. Trying to encourage, exercise. As you're able to tolerate, whether it's you're a person who can go ride a bike or walk through a park, or whether it's just, walking around the block, or whether it's just walking in your hallway. And again, whether it's you just standing up in place from your chair a few times every day, or if you're not able to walk, elevating your arms up and down a few times every day, elevating your feet a few times every day. And of course, if you're prescribed medication, making sure that you're taking your medication as recommended by your doctor.
I love the fact that you talk about no fried food, no this, no that. You're like you're just gonna talk to the family member. They're just gonna be right with it. Now, the people that I know that kind of have the same skin color as I do, try to take fried food off their plate and see how that goes. I mean, it's hard, but yet and still. Talk to me about compliance because you do find that a lot of people are complying. It's a lifestyle change, and for so
Yeah.
many people, it's a rough lifestyle change. But you being the person that you are, you do make the way a whole lot lighter, huh?
Yeah, listen, in this modern day technology, there's so many options now for us. When you talk about fried food, and I get it, I get it. That's not the easiest thing, but now you have air fryers.
Right.
Some are even built in the stoves nowadays, or you can get yourself a air fryer and you can use it at home. So that is much better. You're using a lot less grease, to prepare your foods. And as far as seasonings now, they have so many things on the market, from Mrs. Dash products that has a variety of herbs and fruits, mixed together to give so much great flavoring to your food. Or I even encourage, our members to do it themselves. You can, get herbs and spices and different marinades, and where you're blending like peppers and onions, and just do it yourself and make it tasty, and you'll find that it's exciting. It's an exciting process if you really, really just give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, Constance, we gotta leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing some great and helpful information. And yes, thank you for the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you so much again for having me on today.
No problem. Constance Washington, she is the care coordinator at Health Plans for VNS Health. And if you didn't learn, adobo does not go on everything. All right. Well, listen, for more information, this is what you do. Visit the website, vnshealth.org, or you can reach them via phone 1-866-986-7691. We'll be back with more shows. Stay with us. Hope it continues right after.